The final DCEU film is finally here, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So today, I thought it was time for me to stop and talk about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion, and my name is SW Nation, and you are free to comment down below your very own opinion on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you like the original Aquaman film? What do you take of the DCEU ending? With all that out of the way, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And let's just get right into our review. The final DCEU film is here. Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, I finally got a job. I'm the king of Atlantis.
As a point of reference, I loved the first Aquaman movie. When I first saw that trailer back in like July 2018, I said it then and there. Aquaman will be fire. I watched that first movie when it came out and I thought it was completely fire. I loved the first Aquaman movie, and for years it was my number 2 favorite DCEU film. I think above that was Shazam. When Shazam came out, that's when it became my number 1. But Aquaman was my number 1 DCEU film. I love Aquaman, and also I love Jason Momoa's take on the character. So this is the last time that I'm going to be seeing him as this character. And whenever I walk out of a film that I have mixed feelings on, or I just have a loss for words, my reviews are more or less turned into conversations with the summary at the end. It's not a good, bad, or mixed category with the conclusion at the end. It's just, let's have a conversation about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, because I have very weird opinions on this movie. I liked Aquaman 2, like a lot. Obviously, as the end of the DCEU, you get this bittersweet feeling that you're not watching the epic send-off to these characters of the last 10 years, but rather you're watching a pretty great follow-up to this franchise's first film. This is what this movie is. It wasn't meant to be the conclusion to the DCEU, and I don't think that's a fair thing to do for this movie, to put all of that pressure on this movie. Oh my god, this is how we're ending the DCEU off with Aquaman. Guys, it wasn't written to be the end. It wasn't written to be the movie that ends off 10 years of stories. Like, it wasn't meant to be that. It was just supposed to be a sequel to the billion-dollar film in 2018. And for me, it's exactly what I expected. Another fun location-hopping adventure with Jason Momoa Aquaman. A cool, rad Aquaman. And that's exactly what I got in the movie. Jason Momoa has enough charisma to carry this thinly written movie, though. It is very thinly written. The plot kind of sucks. His chemistry with Patrick Wilson comes in clutch, though, and I enjoyed their banter. I enjoyed their bond by the end, and their journey to learning how to respect each other as brothers. There was some conflict there, and I loved just the conversations that they had on screen about how each character felt about where they are now. And look, for people making such a big deal about how silly Aquaman 2 looks, did you guys even watch the first film? It's silly. That movie is a silly, corny movie, and that's why I like it. Because even though it's corny and cheesy, that's literally Aquaman. He talks to fish. Like, guys, stop acting like Aquaman is just this top tier hero that everybody loves. Oh my god, everybody loves Aquaman. Yeah, he could be cool. If you want a cool Aquaman, quotation marks, you could just go watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Or you can just watch the first couple of minutes of Aquaman, of the first Aquaman. Matter of fact, you can watch that entire film. He's still basically the same character from Justice League. There's some dramatic scenes in here. It's not like they just went all the way parody. I felt the action was a little bit less dizzy here, but also less dynamic than the first. I liked it. It's still better than some comic book movies that came out this year, but also I just felt like where the first movie excelled in was this dynamic rotating camera when it came to action. It was dynamic, but also it gets you very dizzy very quick. The action is great. It doesn't get you dizzy, a win, but it's also not as dynamic as the first film. which is a loss. And, you know, like I said before, there are some dramatic moments inside of this film, but there tries to be some emotional stakes with Arthur's son being kidnapped. Come on, it's in the trailer. We all knew that this was going to happen the moment they introduced his son. Once Arthur's son is in danger, they try to rope in some emotional stakes. But literally, that happens after an entire second act of light comedy. Light buddy cop comedy. And it's such a dramatic change of pace because I definitely feel like either one of those movies could have worked. Either make a dramatic film where the kidnapping of the last bloodline happens, or make a buddy cop film. Either film works with the revenge of Black Manta. You just have to focus on which genre you're going to lean more into. Drama or comedy. Obviously, they went towards comedy. That is their brand for Aquaman, so I have no problem with that. But I definitely think that there's a better movie here. I would have loved to see that more dramatic film, but I am content with this comedy film. I think for the most part, this movie has some great jokes, enjoyable moments, and sometimes it does the right things. Like showing him being king and protecting his kingdom. It's what I wanted to see T'Challa do inside of Wakanda Forever. Unfortunately, they didn't want to recast the character and decided to shelve that king character. But I always, inside of any media, just love to see the king sitting on the throne and talking politics about opening themselves up to the rest of the world. And that's kind of the conversations that they have inside of this film about opening up Atlantis to the rest of the world, to the surface world. And I felt like even that they could have expanded more upon. You can clearly see inside of the film that there are multiple different main plots that are introduced, and only some of them get a full arc. Others just have a conclusion. Look, in conclusion, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is fun enough. I don't think it's fair to be like, oh my god, this movie's terrible because it's the end of the DCEU. They're ending it off with a silly movie. Guys, Aquaman is a silly freaking character. I don't care if Zack Snyder made him a badass. At the end of the day, Aquaman is a silly character. And it's a worthy follow-up to the first film. And the chemistry between Patrick Wilson and Jason Momoa worked for me. Jason Momoa is firing on all cylinders, but as himself. He's not playing the Snyder version of Aquaman. He's just playing the cool bro guy. I like that version of Aquaman. And Patrick Wilson, he's just firing on all cylinders because everything that comes out of his mouth is just so serious. He's actually trying to act his butt off inside of the film and play Orm the best that he can. And you just have Jason Momoa just having fun with the role. And that's always a good sign when you're watching a movie like this. For the most part, mostly everything in this movie is worse than the original. I would say that. But I wouldn't say that it's a whimper. But it doesn't make a splash either. This is a tale of two movies, one a drama, one a comedy. But I will give this film props though, for being somewhat cohesive with all of the shuffling and all of the reshoots and all of the rewrites. And James Wan, man, the fact that he was able to deliver a film this cohesive with everything that we learned about. They literally had Bruce Wayne in the movie, Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. They had Michael Keaton in the movie. I think they even had Flash in the movie. The fact that James Wan and Jason Momoa were able to pump out a movie this cohesive with everything that's backing it up, I give it props for that, man. I'm going to have to say Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is a B- and a 6 out of 10. I think this lines right up with the original film. I think they're neck and neck right here. If you love the original, even if you like the original, I think you would definitely like this movie. Alright guys, that is it for the review. Please note that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below your very own opinion on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Have you seen it? Are you going to the theater to see it? Did you like the original Aquaman film? Are you a fan of this version of Aquaman? And what are your hopes for the DCU version of Aquaman? With all that out of the way, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. That link is in the description. And also, don't forget to come back later for more DCEU content ranked. I want to do some more DCEU content ranking videos. But after that, I'm done with the DCEU. With all of that out of the way, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Peace.